Hi there! Welcome to this video on how to create a super easy 2022 bullet journal setup. If you've just came across my channel, hi, my name is Sophie. This will be my 5th year of using the bullet journal method, and if you're curious about my themes and journal pages, you can also find me on Instagram, TikTok and Pinterest. Grab yourself a drink, a snack or your journal and let's get started. For this setup I'm using several materials. This is my trusty Sakura Micron Fineliner in size 01. The second is gouache paint by Royal Talens. And the third is watercolor paint by Kuretake. I'm also using some brown craft paper, the kind you wrap your mail packages in. And the most important thing is my journal. I'm using an Archer and Olive dot grid journal. Normally I like to draw my headers myself, but for my 2022 setup I chose to use stamps. This stamp set is by Cavallini & Co. All materials I use in this video are also linked in the description. Now let's get into it. I've already made sure to write my name in my journal, which I think is always so stressful because I really don't want to mess up the first page of my journal. On the first page of this setup we're going to make a grid cheat sheet. This is a page where you write down the measurements of your journal, and it's very useful for dividing your pages into columns and rows when you're making your journal spreads. I write down how many boxes a page has horizontally and vertically, and then I'm adding some useful measurements. For example, how you divide a page into 3 rows or 2 columns, etc. I use this page a lot, and that's why I want it to be on the first page of my journal so I can access it easily when I'm designing a page. You can also see that I've already glued in a circle of craft paper. I'm going to make an abstract theme this time, and it gives me some guidance where to draw things when the paper is already in place. Next I'm going to decorate the header of this page. First I'm stamping the word grid and then I'm writing down the word spacing. Then I'm adding some gold details and this page is done. Now I'm going to mix the accent color for my theme. It will be a dark burgundy color, but in the video it's a bit more brown than in real life. It took me a while to find the right shade, adding a bit of yellow or red, but this is the final color I will be using today. I like warm colors like this and it gives this theme a very luxurious vibe. I'm also mixing a dark grey shade for the leaves I'm going to paint. We're moving on to the key page. I don't use this a lot because I know the symbols by heart, but it's always very fun to make a fancy key page. If you've seen my Instagram pictures, you know that I did a very elaborate and detailed theme for December. My 2022 setup theme is a big contrast with that. I wanted to make something simple and fun that looks good very quickly, so I went for this minimal boho-like theme. I also got a couple of requests for a beginner-friendly setup, so I hope this video provides a fun answer to that. I start by painting a shape with the burgundy color overlapping the craft paper. Then I'm grabbing some dark grey and paint a branch with leaves. I'm also adding some golden details. After adding a burgundy circle on the opposite side of the page, this spread is done. On the next page I'm adding a quote. I've already glued in a piece of craft paper and I'm stamping the quote above and on the craft paper. The quote I'm using is "The only limit is you," which means to me that you're the only person holding yourself back from making your dreams come true. If you have a dream, think about what's possible to make it reality and not only the risks and the anxiety about failing. I found it very powerful and decided to add it here. I'm creating an abstract bit of a boho theme for this setup, with minimal colors and materials and some gold to give it a luxurious feeling. On the opposite side of the page I've added an arc of craft paper and I'm adding some leaves, a moon and stars to it. In the middle I've written 2022 because I don't have the number stamps in my stamp set. Later on I changed it to numbers that look like the serif fonts of my stamps. I will be posting the final version on my Instagram. Moving on to the next spread, which is my future log. Here I make a calendar for the upcoming year and I use it for planning larger events or appointments that are further away, like birthdays, dentist appointments, car checkups, holidays, etc. First I'm stamping the names of the months and then I'm adding mini calendars for each month. I made sure to sketch these out first because I can easily make a mistake with these kinds of spreads. If you get one number wrong, you can mess up the whole numbering and I don't want to take that risk today. After adding the days of the week, I'm adding some black lines with my fineliner to separate the months a bit better. I will be coming back later to add some gold details to the names of the months. I will probably have room for 6 months in this journal, but I also include the second half of the year. I like to plan ahead and the yearly spread provides me with enough space for that. Next spread is my goal page, which is inspired by Ray's daily page. She uses a similar layout for her yearly setup and I was also inspired by her cover page, where she also made an arc. I've tagged her YouTube and Instagram down below, make sure to take a look, her work is really amazing. After stamping the header, I'm making 4 categories. These are personal, health, finance and papyrography for my bullet journal projects. I'm using a similar layout as the future log with the stamped categories and single lines separating them. On the bottom of the page I'm painting a half circle and a branch with leaves. Finally, I'm adding some dots and stripes for the final details. I'm quickly erasing some pencil lines and then this spread is also finished. Next up is my social media tracker. This is where I track the number of subscribers or followers of my social media accounts. I'm making 4 categories, which are Instagram, YouTube, TikTok and Pinterest. On the last day of the month, I'm updating this spread so I have a rough idea how fast my accounts are growing. I really don't like to monitor or analyze my statistics too much, it gives me a lot of anxiety, but this spread gives a nice idea where I'm at and it's very satisfying to fill in. For the boxes I'm going to use a ruler because they are quite small and I want this page to look tidy. Normally I don't use a ruler in my bullet journal, but this page is an exception today. And this is the final result. On the opposites page I'm creating a very simple spread to record the books I'm reading in 2022. One of my goals is to read more books, so I really like to include a page for that in my setup. It's just a simple header with a small illustration in the corner and I really like how it turned out. Now I'm flipping a couple of pages back to add some golden details to my future log. I felt it really missed something and now it ties better together with the rest of my pages. this is already the last spread of my 2022 bullet journal setup. My goal is to add a picture I took for each month. I've seen other bullet journalists make similar spreads like this and I really wanted to try it myself this year. I'm adding the headers and adding a title in the center of the spread. Stamping that felt a little too much, so I'm using my fineliner to write it down. After painting the outline of the boxes where I'll be gluing the pictures in, this spread is also done. Let's go to the final flip through of this setup. This is the finished product of today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that I made a quick, easy and fun tutorial for your own bullet journal setup. I want to thank you all for your support in 2021 and I wish you a wonderful year ahead. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more bullet journal inspiration. Bye bye!